Hi, I'm Jeff Ayliffe from Bigshot Television. I'm your host on the all-new Inside the Outdoors show. We're at the Two Oceans Aquarium, the I&J Predator exhibit. Let's go and jump in and go and have some fun. Right, that's it. Briefing done. Formalities over. The dotted lines have been signed. We did catch up with Iain a little bit earlier. He told us more about what we are about to look forward to. So let's get up and go and do this. I'm standing in the engine room of the Two Oceans Aquarium. We are above the dive exhibit, and I'm standing with Iain Robertson. Iain, the chief instructor here and the in-house diver. It's obviously got to be the best job in the world.
It's absolutely fabulous. I get to dive every day. I think the only problem I've got is this roof leaks in the winter, but otherwise it's fabulous, fabulous.
You must meet some amazing people here, and it's got to be a fantastic experience taking people into these tanks and allowing them to meet the ragged-tooth sharks. I know there's a lot of other fish here, but the raggies are the prime attraction. Obviously the question you always get asked, how safe is it?
I've been doing this for 10 years. We've been running the programme for about 12 years. We've never had an incident with the sharks having a go at anybody. So we feed the sharks well, we make sure they're well fed. Look, occasionally it does happen that they'll take a fish, but the fish are obviously much more attractive than I am, I think, I hope. So no, we've never had a problem with the sharks having a go at anybody. It's perfectly safe.
Speaking of these sharks, they're effectively ambassadors for their species, for the ragged-tooth sharks, endemic to the southern and the eastern sort of temperate oceans. But the guys that are in here and the girls that are in here, they get rotated. It's a program, a very successful program initiated by the Two Oceans Aquarium.
That's right. We'll keep the sharks for around 4 years, and then when we set them free, we'll put a tag on them, either a sonic tag or a satellite tag. The satellite tag comes off. The sonic tag stays in them and the battery life is 10 years. There's sonic buoys around the coast, so as they pass the buoy, we'll get a ping to tell us that that's where they've been. The satellite tag comes off, gives us information how far, how deep, and water temperature that they've gone through.
If the ragged-tooth sharks are the favourite inmates of the adults, Yoshi, the loggerhead turtle, has got to be the kids' favourite. Tell us quickly about Yoshi.
Yoshi is an amazing creature in there. She's probably, I'm glad you didn't ask how many people have been bitten by Yoshi, however. Yoshi does tend to be a little bit inquisitive, and she will come in kind of close, and it's the one animal that we don't mind people touching in the tank. However, she has been known to bite. So as long as we keep her hands away from her head, she's absolutely fine. And she's a lovely creature. A bit big, a bit heavy, but absolutely stunning.
Iain, there's a large variety of species in here. We've got the cob, we've got the yellowtail, really impressive looking game fish, and obviously it's a protected environment for them. But in terms of the aquarium acquiring these fish, it's obviously done with fishing?
Yes, we'll go out, the guys will go out, and whatever we need, they will go and then target fish. We go out and collect the sharks ourselves, and we'll fish wherever from here up to, I think as far as East London they go for the sharks. And for the other fish, we just go out fishing. We occasionally get stuff handed in from the sea fisheries boats where they're doing research, and if they find something interesting, they'll give us a call and ask if we want it. So yes, it's really nice to see the kind of things that you're likely to see in the ocean. But as you say, they're much better protected here than they are outside.
The feeding times, obviously set feeding times for the various fish. Again, the big question must be, when are you feeding the sharks? When do the raggies get fed?
The sharks get fed once a week. The sharks get fed on a Sunday afternoon, and we try to feed them well so that they've got very slow metabolism. So they'll go, seemingly in the wild, they'll go 10 to 14 days between feeds. So we just want to make sure that we feed them enough, mainly so that they didn't actually go after the other fish. Although it has happened, but not that often.
On an educational side, there's huge benefit in the aquarium. There's a lot of school groups that come through here. A lot of awareness being raised about the state of our marine ecosystems, about conservation. From your perspective as a diver, it's fantastic. You get to see firsthand the reactions of these youngsters looking at you through the glass. It must be fantastic.
It's absolutely brilliant. The kids love seeing divers in the water, and it's just seeing their reaction to the life that's in the tank. And I kind of think of myself as being privileged in a sense that I see this I go diving all the time, so I see this in the ocean. And you look at some of these kids outside and you think, they're never going to see that. So this is their only chance and opportunity to see the life that we almost take for granted. So it's a fantastic place. I just love being involved with this. And it's nice for me to take people in there, come out, and I've never had anybody come out and go, no, it was all right. It's always, wow, that was amazing. Always, always.
Iain, a vital area of conservation is our oceans. We know that that's really critical, with the apex predator, the great white shark, being at the top of the scale. Everything under her is affected. You dive in the natural ocean, in the open ocean, in the Atlantic. You also dive a lot here, which is really, it's a realistic example, but it's unrealistic in terms of the life that you will see on a day-to-day basis, possibly in the ocean. Give us a comparison. We've heard talks of sewage being pumped into the ocean, of reefs that are not as healthy as they were a few years ago, possibly through overfishing, possibly through poaching. But from your perspective as a diver, you get to see both environments. Is there a noticeable difference?
This, as you say, this tank is very much what diving is like in Cape Town, and you'll see these fish, just not that big. So we see the fish that are in here, the white steenbrush, the halloon. We don't see as many on the reefs anymore, and we certainly don't see them that big in the dive sites that we see, where you would have seen them several years ago. The pollution, it's a huge concern at the moment. That we've had reports and we've seen photographs of the stuff that's been pumped in at Camps Bay and at Hout Bay, and yes, it's got to affect us. It's got to scare the fish away. It's got to pollute the environment quite badly. We're getting to the stage now that we're seeing less and less of several species. You know, we don't see as many fish. I've only been here 28 years, but when I look at the dive sites now and think about the crayfish and the perlman that we used to see, it's certainly not as many as we used to see. So yes, it's a huge concern.
When you're not in the tank, you still dive. Where's your favourite spot?
Yes, I still dive. I still take students in. I'm still diving. I dive a lot with students, so we tend to use the same spots all the time. If I've got a pleasure dive, if you like, then there's just too many to mention. Coral Gardens, Justin's Caves, Boat Rock in Falks Bay, Smitsvinkle Bay Wrecks. There's too many to mention. There's too many to say that's my favourite. Although, yeah, Boat Rock would be right up there, close to the top of the line. Cape Town, how's that? Cape Town's my favourite place to dive. That's it.
There we go. We've heard from Iain Robertson about his favourite dive spots. You've got a choice. You don't have to be an open water qualified or an experienced or an advanced diver. You can do a Discover Scuba course. You can contact Iain Robertson at the Two Oceans Aquarium and start with a Discover Scuba course, work your way through to Open Water 1 and go and find out all about these amazing dive spots and the wonderful marine ecosystems that we've got here around Cape Town.
Bigshot TV.